Have you ever looked at a simple chore, like a pile of laundry or a sink full of dirty dishes, and felt an overwhelming sense of dread so intense that you literally could not move? You are not lazy. You are experiencing task paralysis. This is the hidden psychology of people who freeze when overwhelmed, a mental state deeply connected to executive dysfunction, ADHD, and chronic burnout. To an outsider, it looks like procrastination or simple laziness. But on the inside, a violent mental battle is taking place. When a brain suffering from burnout or neurodivergence faces a seemingly routine task, it doesn't see a simple chore. It sees an insurmountable mountain. This reaction is fundamentally a nervous system response. Your brain misinterprets the data, views the growing to-do list as a literal threat to your survival, and triggers a classic fight, flight, or freeze response. In this state, you choose freeze. The psychology behind this freeze state comes down to how our brains handle executive function. Executive functioning is the command center of the mind, responsible for planning, focusing, prioritizing, and executing tasks. For individuals with ADHD or those trapped in severe burnout, this command center is completely starved of dopamine or entirely depleted by chronic stress. Without a functional prioritization filter, every single micro-step of a chore demands the exact same level of critical urgency. Take the simple act of washing a single dish. A neurotypical brain automates the process seamlessly, but a brain in task paralysis breaks it down into a brutal, overwhelming checklist. Stand up. Walk to the kitchen, find the sponge, make sure there is soap, scrub the surface, rinse the plate, dry it, put it away. When you multiply this micro-step analysis by 20 dishes, your prefrontal cortex suffers an immediate system overload. The mental energy required just to initiate the very first movement is too high, creating an invisible barrier. You end up sitting on the couch, staring into space, completely frozen while your internal anxiety skyrockets. This cycle is incredibly destructive because freezing does not offer actual rest. When you procrastinate intentionally, you might at least enjoy the distraction. But during a freeze episode, you are trapped in a state of active internal panic. You punish yourself mentally, wondering why you cannot just do a basic task that everyone else seems to handle with ease. This severe guilt feeds directly back into your chronic burnout, ensuring that the next time you face a chore, the barrier to entry is even higher. Breaking out of this paralyzing psychological feedback loop requires a complete shift in how you approach your daily routine. You cannot rely on raw willpower when your executive functions are offline. Instead, you have to lower the activation energy required to start. This means using a strategy called micro-steps. If you cannot wash the dishes, just commit to turning on the kitchen faucet. If you cannot clean your room, pick up just one single sock. By shrinking the scope of the target down to an absurdly small action, you bypass the brain's threat detection system.
Another highly effective neurological hack is body doubling, which is simply performing a chore in the presence of another person, or using strategic dopamine pairing, like matching an uncomfortable task with a highly engaging podcast or your favorite music. Remember, your inability to start is a physiological sign of an overloaded nervous system, not a reflection of your character. Stop waiting for the perfect burst of motivation. Lower the bar, trick your brain, and take the pressure off.